Good morning. It's Charlene, one half of the Witchy Stitchers. Today is the 29th of August, and this is video number 131. I have a white rat, aka Judge, right here behind where I'm filming. So I won't apologize if he comes around for a view, but just know Dramamine might be required as we progress through this video. So I'm coming to you, it's basically 8 o'clock on Thursday morning. I was supposed to be here on Tuesday, had an eye appointment, supposed to be here yesterday, and yesterday was crazy. And please stay out of my coffee. You can't have coffee. So I'm finally getting a chance to do it. Morgan was going to try and film today, but she had some stuff come up. So I'm going to film today, and then she's hoping maybe this weekend she can get one. So she's got a lot going on. So just lots of busy stuff. So anyway, we'll get started. So I will start off with showing you where my ornament is at. And this is just an empty ornament from Michael's? No. Might have been Joann's this year, because this one's a little bit different shaped. So a few years ago, I had bought one of those great big tubes of like 24 different ornaments that you could decorate, for your Christmas tree. And I think there were 4, maybe there were 16. I know that there was 4 of each different kind of the way that the bauble was decorated. And I gave some to my mother-in-law, and then Morgan and I shared some. But this year, I'm pretty sure that this one was at Joann's, because they had these, it was after Christmas, I think. They had the discount rack, for the ornaments in the after Christmas sales and stuff. And I liked this one because it's not very wide, but it's bigger around. So, and very plain. There's no etching or no design or nothing into the plastic. So anyway, that's where I'm at with my ornament. I broke off a piece of the teeth from the top, and so I stuck it down in there so I'd have some shiny. So anyway, I really enjoy doing those. They're a lot of fun. My progress numbers so far, I am at 9,734 for the month, and I am at 82,883 for the year. So behind, I'm pretty sure I'm behind from last year. Not like a ridiculous amount, but I am behind from where last year's progress was. So yeah, I did have a finish. So I told you guys that I had put this into my 30 minutes a day, and I finished it. I love it so much. I still have not decided what I'm going to do for a frame. Preston found 2 frames that we really, really liked, but the opening covered over part of the... Are you going to come say hi? Well, come in and say hi. They covered part of the stitching right here. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm either going to get a bigger frame, maybe a matte. I might do a quilted finish. Are you going to say hi? Are you going to say hi? Come here and say hi. And then I'm going to put you down so you don't knock anything down. So this is Luna. I know you don't like the peoples or to be held. Mwah. My boy, and he's gone. He loves to be petted. He loves to cuddle with you, but he doesn't like to be held. Everything is on his terms. So, yeah. Okay, I'm marking this off as we go so I don't get myself confused. All right. So since I had to finish, and since I got my whips down to 100, which was my goal that I talked about in my last video, which here's my updated numbers. Yay, go me. I was able to go ahead and start my 100-day challenge, which is I put all of my projects into my spin wheel, and every day I spin a new project. And this morning was spin number 6. So what I'm doing is listing the project, what day they spin, and then how many total stitches, because I'm doing a minimum of 100 stitches. And it's been kind of ironic, because if you look at my whip-go list, I have quite a few on my whip-go list that have overlapped with what have already spun. So I was kind of able to work on them together and correlate it, which worked out great. I was really happy with that. So by finishing Gimma, I was able to knock off another one, and then I finished the stitching on, which I will show you, on my cycling bear. That knocked off another one. And then of course the 2 new ones that drew for September was the Crazy Quilt and, let's see, what was it, 4 and 11? Yeah, and the roasted chicken. So those are the 2 that came up for September. And those I have both on here for a finish. As you can see, a lot of these are on for a finish. I think because I let myself get behind on my board, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that done. But I'm going to try. So, that being said, obviously that is one of my upcoming plans, is to continue to work on getting caught on whip-go, or at least on my board, and then to also continue with my 100-day challenge. So these are not in any particular order. I will just go through and show you what I have gotten done. I'll try to refer to the list a little bit, but we'll see. So this is the cycling bear, and I think I actually showed this one to you last week. This one was on my whip-go for 1,000 stitches. And I was really happy with the progress I made. I wanted to work a little bit more into, I gotta find the pattern, a little bit more into her face. I didn't want to work too much into the dog, because I didn't want to, I can't find my project. I didn't want to get too much of that white done into the dog, because I didn't want it to get dirty. So I'll probably save it more toward the end. I did knock out some of the back stitching, which I was really happy with, because, you know, back stitching is a thing. I wanted to be able to start seeing where this one was going, and I was happy with where I got to. But I think next time I'm definitely going to try to work more up into her face and maybe get to the top, and then, you know, work this way, and then, like I said, save the little dog for last. So I ended up, I think this is the one that Itchy knows, was either 1,000 or 1,001 stitches. I can't remember which, but it was basically, well, we're going to say 1,000. So that's where I got to. So the back stitching I've done on, this might have been, maybe I had the back stitching done when I came to you last time. I can't remember. Anyway, I got some of the back stitching done, but as you can see, I've come pretty far up here into her face. This is her cheek. And then, you know, working down here on the bike and whatnot, and then some more over here in her dress. So, yeah, I'm very happy with where I got to on her. I don't think this one will come out again. Well, it'll come out again because it hasn't come up on the wheel. So it'll come out one more time this year for at least 100 stitches. And I might, because I had a good stopping point where I could, I might go ahead and focus on backstitch for that time, just so we can see more of it, because I don't know, it's encouraging to want to do more when you do the backstitching. That's my opinion. Next up, I have, let's see, I guess I will show you next my crow. This one has not been spun yet, but I have been working on this one for, I put this one into Whipco for a finish. So I work on this one in the evenings when we're watching TV. And I'm using all the call-forward colors, which you can see they're a mess. But I work on this one, like this past weekend I worked on it when we were watching football. But it's my evening stitch because it's 14 count and I can see really well in there. I do, so on a personal note that goes hand in hand with that. So this is where I'm at. I was able to start up into the letters, and then the little bird is done. Oops, upside down. Is done. I'm on a roll. Is done except for his beak and his feet. So, but I came down and I worked down in here, so now I can pick up, because that black it's mascara, Weeks Dye Works, and it gets very monotonous. So I worked down from his wing, so now I have some color variation to splash in while I'm working on the black. So yeah, in a project bag by me. That was some fabric that a friend that works for a quilt shop in Vermont, she sent that to me. So if I don't put the hoop back with it, I won't know what I've done with it. And then I'll be cussing when I can't find it. Because, you know, Charlene. Okay. Now this one did come up for a spin on the third day, which I thought was too funny. This is Apache Marriage Blessing. I do not know when I started this. I started it a really long time ago. And it was on my Whipco board for 1,000 stitches. And I had been working on it, and then it came up on my spin for my 100-day challenge. So it worked out perfect. So I just knocked out the 1,000 stitches, knocked out the, you know, the 100 stitches, and it was just kind of a win-win. So I was able to get quite a bit done. More words, the little motifs here. This is part of maybe like a piece of leather or something that comes across. I have to hold this upside down. Over in here, and then of course down into the trees, and then part of the sunrise, sunset, whatever that's supposed to be, and then part of the sky, and of course the tree. So yeah, I was really happy with the progress on this one. I have decided to change up my plans on this one. So yeah, we'll see what kind of progress I make. Lots and lots of stitching and lots of back stitch on that one. So that one will keep me busy. Okay, the next one, this was actually spin number 2, and I have had this pattern since the mid to late 90s. I bought this pattern at a stitch shop in Durango when, not very long after I first started learning to cross stitch. And of course it calls for excuse me, threads from the Karen collection. I didn't even know what those were. Honestly, I did not know that there was anything out there in the universe for stitching besides DMC and Anchor and JP Coats. And I learned to embroidery when I was very, very young, like grade school young. And the Ben Franklin's that we used to shop at, they had JP Coats, which I don't even know if they still make JP Coats embroidery thread. I know that they're still sewing thread, but I had a whole collection, I still do, they're downstairs. I use them specifically for my embroidering. And obviously they're quite old, antique at this point, maybe. Anyway, but I did not know that Karen collection, you know, water lilies, all that kind of stuff, it was even a thing. So I had that pattern all those years, and I don't remember if we had moved here yet, or I don't remember when I finally found them, and I found them online, and then I ordered them, and I've had them all this time, and so then I finally started this so I could have it on my wall, because it's a gorgeous stitch. So this is a piece of 14 count vintage country cream Aida, and you can't really see the modeling very good in it, but it's gorgeous fabric. So I made quite a bit of progress. I did 140 stitches on this one. I know I came up here and I done this. I worked in the butterfly, and then I think I worked on this down in here. So yeah, I was very happy with the progress on this. And this thread is very chunky, and so I really like the way it's looking. To me, it's almost like a tapestry. So this is one of those that I need to entertain, maybe a motif a day, maybe divided into 12. Like this one needs some love. And I actually have the winter one on my wish list on 123 that I wouldn't mind getting it and doing it too. And I know that there was a spring one. I'm pretty sure it was spring. It might have been autumn. No, I can't remember. But it's not on 123 anymore. So I don't know if it's discontinued or just unavailable. I'm not sure. So when I came to you last, I was pondering what I was going to do moving forward with my 30 minutes a day stitching. And I was kind of, I don't know what I want to do. Like, do I want to just work on summer? I was really on the fence with it. And so that first day after I finished the bees, actually the next day, I was like, oh, I'm going to work on this. And, or maybe it was, I don't remember what it was. Maybe I just wanted to work on it. I don't know. No, it was part of the, it was going to be part of that 30 minutes a day. And I worked on it. I was like, well, you know, summer's going to end in less than a month. And I really don't want to be working. I mean, I can't hang up anything for summer yet anyway until next summer. And so I was kind of on the fence, kind of hemming and hawing, going back and forth. And I'll show you what I ended up working on. But I did put, I don't remember how many stitches I put into this one. Well, at least 100, whatever it was that day I got done. But I'm talking about the Summer Art Nouveau. And this was a free set of patterns from A World of Cross Stitch magazine. Morgan's doing these too. So I brought that leaf down there, and then I worked on quite a bit of the purple, and then I think I did a strand of black. I think. Yeah, I think I did the black around here. So I have the Christmas one or the winter one done. And I thought real serious about, you know, these would be great for the 30 minutes a day. And I might come back to that, might revisit that as I, you know, get more of my projects knocked out. I'm not sure. I'm still pondering. This is some Laurel Birch fabric. I've had it forever. This was actually a leftover chunk from a shirt that I made for Morgan when she was, pretty sure it was grade school. It might have been middle school. So, anyway. All right, so then the next thing that I worked on, and this, I brought this out to work on it because it is on my whip go for a finish. And this is the first project bag that I made. Unfortunately, it's not lined. So, I mean, it's an awesome bag, but it's very limp and loosey-goosey. So, it doesn't usually leave the house because it isn't a little bit stiffer, but I really like it. And then Morgan made me a zipper pull, and I think it's a manatee. Looks like a manatee, or maybe a walrus. No, I'm gonna go with manatee. It's got the different tail. And actually, I lied to you. That was not this one. I picked up the wrong bag. This was, I'm sorry. This was yesterday's spin, and this is an Emma Congdon. Look at all these gorgeous threads. That's why it's got the manatee on it, is because this is Norwal. And I have not got those bobbinated. That's on my to-do list. So like I said, this is an Emma Congdon from Cross Stitch Crazy. I'm not sure if it's going to tell me when it came out. No clue. Anyway, this is the pattern. I think that's so pretty. Love those colors. I want to get this one done, especially now that I have my craft room set up and going. I think that would look gorgeous to hang on that wall. So this is a piece of fabric that I dyed with Rit dye colors, wine, thinking maybe a teal or a turquoise, some purple, maybe some pink. Yeah, it's just screaming color. And I had started this one, oh golly, I think I started this one in 22. And I just had a little tiny bit, like I had this part of his head done, and then these words, a little bit of the words done. So yesterday I picked this one up because this one was the spin for the 100-day challenge. And I did 121 stitches yesterday, which was these two colors. I did 597 and 9 something, 993 maybe. That sounds right. Over in here in his jaw. So, and this one probably won't come out again because it's been on the spin. I need to get into Office Max and get this pattern blown up. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys about what the eye doctor said. I'll tell you about that when I'm done. Good news, bad news. Okay. Now I'll go to the other one. So if you're offended by profanity, look away because this is one of my profane bags. I have, I don't know, 2 or 3 of these. And for a long time, this was my weather bag because, you know, the weather can just irritate the heck out of you. But I finished my weather project and I decided that I wasn't going to do one this year because we were hopeful that we were going to get to move. But, you know, it's September and nothing has come to fruition yet. Preston's waiting for a transfer. And if you don't know, he works for the state of Colorado. And you have to wait for positions to open, interview, blah, blah, blah. It's a government job. So it will be when it's meant to be. That's the way I look at it. So this one is the one that I started to say. This one is on my whip go board for a finish. Why this is not done, I have no idea. Coffee today. Oh, we found some caramel vanilla Coffee Mate creamer. First time I've ever tried it. It's not too bad, but you can't use too much of it because it's kind of overpowering, but it's good. So anyway, I had started this one 97, 98, like a long, long time ago. And put it away, picked it up, put it away, picked it up. And so I picked it up the other day. I took the pattern in, had it blown up so I could see it because it was super hard to read. And I was like, I could knock this out in no time. This is not going to be a big deal. I need to have my head examined, especially for the amount of projects I put on that list that, oh, I can finish that. There's a reason they're not done. So I'm talking about Personally Yours. I have seen this on the secondary market. I actually saw this on eBay about a month ago, and it's a kit, and it was almost $100. I can believe it. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I have finished, as of the other day when I picked it up, I am completely finished on the bottom half of the pattern. So basically, well, and I'll show it to you, but basically from about right in here down. All the back stitch, all the stitching, everything is done. So you can see I just need to come forward. But just see all that back stitch in there? Yeah. So when I picked this up the other day, I didn't even, well, I guess the thread on here tells me that I started doing some half stitches. So this is where it's at. So when I first picked it up, I finished the back stitching here on some of the vines and came up here and done some vines. Did a little bit of work on the mailbox. And then I picked up this, and this is a blend. Is this one a blend? Yeah, this is a blend. That is the half stitches of the mailbox, and then that will come over here. Excuse me. Yeah, it'll come over actually here and is part of the sky. So, and that's where I stopped at when I picked it up the other day. Again, I don't know if realistically this can be a finish just because of all that back stitch, because that's a lot. I mean, a lot. And backstitch and I, we're not friends. I love to stitch, but backstitching just, and on the next project that I'm going to show you, you'll be like, what were you thinking? Why did you do that? This one, this zipper pull, so when we started doing the temperatures, the first one we started with was the temperature tree. Those are by Stitchin' Mommy. She has an Etsy site. And so Morgan made me a tree to go on it. And we've done 3 of the different weather things since then. So I just keep it on here. This is my temperature bag. So yeah, I still, and personally there's not only because I need to finish it, but because it will also come on the spin for, I didn't put everything on. It will also come out on the spin for the 100-day challenge because it hasn't come out. So, all right, so this one came up on the spin for, again, I find irony in this. This one came up on the spin for the 4th day. This is another of my colorful bags. So if you're offended easily, again, I've got 4 or 5 of these different prints. I got them from Spoonflower. Does that sound right? I think that's it. And the reason that it's in this bag is because backstitch. Yeah. And Morgan made me the coolest zipper pull for this one. So, where's that? The whole Excalibur look. Reminds you of what maybe the rock looks like that Excalibur would have been in. So, what I'm talking about is Teresa Winsler's The Castle. Now, do you see all that backstitch? Yeah. And I just saw recently, I don't know what her, it's like something dancer. Anyway, Veronica is her name. She stitched this and she used all the metallics and all the lovelies, and it's just, wow, it's gorgeous. Have no clue where this fabric is from. I've had it for a really long time. But that is where I'm at on the castle. So this side of the pattern, so I made a working copy and I pretty much cut it into 4. And this half, so these 2 quarters, is almost done. I still have a little bit of backstitch up here in the castle to do, well, in this part of the castle. You can see the windows and whatnot. I think I have a little bit of backstitching down here to do in these rocks and in this grass coming up here. And then this half will be completely done. So yesterday, no, I've pulled this out twice and worked on it. Mostly have been doing backstitching, and then yesterday I worked on the water. So I finished bringing the water over here, and then I did quite a bit in the tail, a lot of quarter stitches and whatnot in the tail. And then I think, oh, and then I came up here and I did a little bit of stitching because some of the colors in the tail are also in his foot. And so I worked on that too. So this project is for Dalton for birthday, Christmas, whenever Mom gets it done. And like I said, I have it on my Whipco board for 1,000 stitches. But as I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know, this needs done. I will put this up later because it's a challenge. I am hoping that I can get this done. Hang on just a second. Why is it when you start doing a video, everybody wants to talk to you? Does it ever fail? Murphy's Law. But I'm thinking that if I did even just brought it out and just worked on it just a little bit a day, I think it's feasible to have it done by Christmas. I don't know. It's a lot of backstitch. To be seen. All right. Last thing that, well, actually, I'll show you that last. So today's pull is called Gathering Honey. And I'm going to take this out because I made a working copy of the pattern. So this is out of 101 Best Love Designs. And I have seen this at used bookstores. I've seen it at the Goodwill. I saw it at Second and Charles, which is like a refurbished but also new bookstore here in Denver. And it's very reasonably priced. The one that I saw at Second and Charles the other day was like $5.99 or something. But this book has got some amazing patterns in here. So the triptych that I've seen quite a few people working on this. It has those all three of those patterns in here, which that one is definitely on my to-do list someday. One of the other things that I did not realize was in here until the other day when I was thumbing through this, I saw this Quaker on somebody's page, and for the life of me I can't remember who it was, but it's been out of print for a really long time. And a lady said that she was looking for it, she wanted to make it, and I guess somebody found it on the secondary market, and it was over $100 just for this pattern. So if you can get to this and you're looking for this particular one, I absolutely love this, and it's so simple and so sweet. And I don't know if it tells me who the artist is on it. And the only reason I'm showing you this one is because, like I said, there was a lady that was looking for it, and it doesn't tell me who it's by. It just says it's a Quaker sampler. Doesn't tell me anything about who the designer is or anything. So, yeah. But it's so pretty. So that one is definitely one, and there's only 2, 4, 6 colors in it. So yeah, that one needs to be a mania start, I think. But the one that I am working on is Gathering Honey. And if you know me, you know that I am obsessed with bees. I love bees. I started this on my birthday in, I think it was in 22. Pretty sure it was in 22. Let's consult the guide, shall we? Gathering Honey, yes, on my birthday in 22. So April of 22, I started this. This is pitiful. Don't laugh. So this is a piece of fabric that I dyed, just 14 count Aida, and I used some, I think it was daffodil yellow, Rit dye. See that ridiculous start right there? Yeah, that's where I got to. So it has come out in the challenge for 100 stitches. So when I come back to you next week, I will be able to show you something more than my pitiful start. This morning, I did make time to finally organize all my pretty threads. I didn't think I was going to like these little boxes, but so this one has 46 colors, 40, maybe 47 colors. It's perfect. And I'm missing 2. I didn't even realize that until I was organizing it. So yeah, it's just the right size, basically 50 or less. And this, blah, words. These were in the jewelry part of these boxes at Michael's. They didn't have the big boxes. I ended up finding those at Joann's. Yeah. All right. So, to my 30 minutes a day stitchers, thank you so much for telling me and proving to me that this really works. So Liberty Quaker was on my whip go for a finish. Liberty Quaker, ironically, was my first pull for my 100 or spin for my 100-day challenge to myself. So I have been working on this very diligently for a minimum of, for 30 minutes. I have been averaging 105. Now today was a good day. Today I had like 127, but I only had to change my thread out once. So I'm really happy with where I'm getting to. So this is a piece of 18 count Sink dye. It was white, that Morgan Sink dye. She's working on this as well. And this is where I have got to now since I showed it to you last. So, and I don't, maybe I didn't show it to you guys before. I don't think I'd started working on it yet. Let's look at the list. I don't think I had. No, I hadn't started working on it, so you guys haven't seen it. So I have been able to get quite a bit of this border done. All of the red on the border up to about right here, all of the rest of that border is new. The letters are new. This motif is new. The red and blue in the flag is new. From, I think, about half or maybe 3/4 of this motif, all of that motif is new. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to work basically across this way. There's some specialty stitches right here. I'll show you on the picture. that they're basically satin stitches for the acorns. I might wait and save those to the end, so in moving my hoop and whatnot, I don't take a chance of, pulling those and tearing them. But all the rest of it is just regular cross stitch. So, yeah. And what my goal is, I have 3, 4, for sure 3, maybe 4 patriotic pieces. And if you've watched our videos before, you know that right here we have a United States flag, and then of course the plaques from the military for supporting our troops when Morgan and I belong to the Soldiers Angels group. And what I would like to do is move the flag down a little bit and then turn this entire wall right here into a patriotic wall. So let's see. I got a pattern, sorry. I've got to get it done first though, because stitching is important. I realize that I'm at 40 minutes. I hope I haven't bored you guys too terribly with all my pretties. This was almost like a mini whip parade. Okay, that being said, my plans are to continue, as I said earlier, to catch up on WhipGo, to continue doing my 100-day challenge, and then of course to do my 30 stitches a day. If you're tired of seeing projects and hearing all my ranting, then I will bid you adieu here, but I will give you a quick life update of what my eye doctor said. My eye doctor is amazing. 2 years ago now, yeah, 2 years ago now, maybe 3, I don't know, it's been a while ago. It was 2 years ago. I went in for my, every 2-year exam, because our insurance will only pay for every 2 years for contacts and glasses. And I went in, and amazing eye doctor, and he's looking at my eye, and he's like, it was this one, and he's like, something doesn't look right. Keeps looking. Well, apparently my eye was, he compared it to pizza dough, that there were so many holes from where you tear your pizza dough when you're throwing it up in the air and whatnot. And there was a very good chance of a retinal detachment if I did not get in and get that fixed. This was on a, I don't know, like a Tuesday or Wednesday. He had me in to see an emergency optometrist on the following Monday or Tuesday. He got me in as quick as he could. The guy that ended up seeing me, he was amazing too, told me that the chances of this eye doctor catching this was like literally like a 1 in a million thing. Like, this guy and myself, we both needed to buy a lottery ticket, because it was so far, the tear was so far down into the bottom of my eye that it was just kind of a freak deal that he was able to see it. So as he put it, it was really funny, because he was trying to explain to me how he was fixing my eye, and I said, so you're basically welding me back together. He goes, oh, you understand welding? I'm like, dude, I grew up on a ranch. I was learning to weld when most girls were finding makeup and fixing their hair pretty. So yeah. So anyway, he basically welded my eye back together with a little solder gun, and hurt like a son of a gun. Had the most amazing headache, but got me put back together, fixed my eye. So moving forward, and the original, my actual eye doctor told me at the time that he could see the very beginnings of cataracts. But, you're young, you got plenty of time, you're good to go. Fast forward. So I finally got in to see him. It took me almost a month to get in to see this guy. And I finally told him, I'm like, if you weren't such a good doctor, this wouldn't be such an issue, because he's amazing. And check me out, my prescription has, which is weird, but I guess this is perfectly normal. So I'm like super blind. My nearsightedness has improved, but my vision has worsened. So tomorrow I get to go in and order my new glasses. I did get my new contacts, which my prescription did change, not a lot, but some. And I really like my new contacts. I compare it to, you know, that feeling of velvet. It feels very good and refreshing to your eyes to have new contacts. But he did say that we need to address my cataracts sooner than later. He thinks that by the time I come in for my next appointment, again 2 years, that it will have progressed at the rate that it has already progressed in the last 2 years, that I will have to go in and have cataract surgery. I said, isn't that kind of young? I mean, I turned 52 in April, and he was like, you're very young. But it could be a hereditary thing, it could be an environmental thing where I grew up. There's many factors that contribute to that. So, that being said, that is in my future in the next couple of years, which I'm not worried, but I'm worried. I mean, anytime you have surgery or have anything done, and you know, and you guys can attest to this, as stitchers, this is what we depend on, you know. Our hands and our eyes are what we depend on to do our craft, besides anything else. And when I was in my 20s, every eye doctor that I went to was like, you need to have LASIK surgery, your eyes are bad enough, you need it. And I refused to have it done because I was so scared. And I watched, you know, my parents go through cataract surgery, aka grandparents. They were in their 70s, and my grandma didn't have too much trouble with hers, but my dad had a lot of trouble after he had the one eye fixed. And so those memories, those thoughts are in the back of your head going, okay, I realize medicine has advanced a lot in the 20 plus years since they had theirs done, but I still worry. So, and he was really sweet. He kept saying, he's like, just look at it this way, you know, the worst thing you're going to need is just maybe some cheaters for that those little tiny squares you stitchers work on. And he was awesome, but it still has me worried. So anyway, and I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know there's a lot of you out there that have already had it done, and good, bad, and otherwise, but it's just a worry that I have. So anyway, now I am 47 minutes in, and I've told you all my stories. The kids are doing great. Dalton gets to come home tomorrow for the weekend. Preston is super busy at work, and I'm just plugging away, working on quilts, stitching, keeping house. Got laundry going, which I'm sure you heard the washing machine in the beginning. Get my laundry done for the day. I will let you go. Thank you for staying with me and listening to me and looking at all my pretties. I'm sure that I'm probably going to have about that many projects next week, because every day I pull a different one. So, I mean, if you want to stick around for a little itty bitty tiny whip parade every week, I'd love to have you. So hopefully Morgan will get a video out to you soon. Like I said, she's got a lot going on, but she's got lots to show you, lots of fun stuff, and some exciting news. So, and exciting, it's life news. It's not like, it's just life news, but she's got lots of news to catch up on because she hasn't seen you for a while. So anyway, dogs want out. I'm going to let you go. Have a great day. Thank you for spending time with me, and just remember to always be kind. Bye, guys.